Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 80, Sudama visits Lord Krishna, text 12 and 13. Sa evam bharyaya vipro bahushaha prartito muhuhu ayam hi paramo labha uttama sloka darshanam iti sanchintya manasa gamanaya matim dadhe api asti upayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyatam saevam bharyaya vipro bahusha prartito muhu ayam hi paramo labha uttama sloka darshanam iti sanchintya manasa gamanaya matim dadhe api asti apayanam kinchid api asti upayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyatam sa evam bharyaya vipro bahusha prartito muhu ayam hi paramo labha uttama sloka darshanam iti sanchintya manasa gamanaya matim dade api asti upayanam kinchid grihe kalyani diyatam. Sa evam bharyaya vipro ayam hi paramo labha uttama sloka darshanam iti sanchintya manasa sa evam bharyaya vipro bahusha prartito muhu Mothers, sa he evam, in this way, bharyaya, by his wife, Vipra, the Brahmana, Bahushaha, profusely, Pratita, entreated, Muhuhu, over and over, I am this, he, indeed, Parama, the supreme, Labha, gain, Uttama Sloka of Lord Krishna, Darshanam, the sight, Iti, so, Sanchintya, thinking, Manasa, within his mind, Gamanaya, to go, Matim, Dade, he made his decision, Api, whether, Asti, there is, Upayanam, gift, Kinchit, some, Grihe, in the house, Kalyani, my good woman, Diyatam, please give. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, when his wife thus repeatedly implored him in various ways, the Brahmana thought to himself, to see Lord Krishna is indeed the greatest achievement in life. Thus he decided to go, but first he told her, my good wife, if there is anything in the house I can bring as a gift, please give it to me. Please repeat. Sukadeva Goswami continued, when his wife thus repeatedly implored him in various ways, the Brahmana thought to himself, to see Lord Krishna is indeed the greatest achievement in life. Thus he decided to go. But he first told her, my good wife, if there is anything in the house I can bring as a gift, please give it to me. Purport. Sudama was naturally humble, and thus, although at first he was dissatisfied with his wife's proposal, finally he settled his mind and decided to go. Now the last detail was that he had to take a gift for his friend. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desetarine Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamakyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vancha Kalpataro Vyasta Kripa Sindhupe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Branda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. This is a famous pastime of Lord Krishna with his childhood friend Sudama Vipra. It's very famous. When we were small children, we learnt about this. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is to give us a little understanding of who is Krishna and how his dealings are perfect. Samoham sarvabhuteshu Krishna says that I am equal to everybody. And equal to everybody means what? That he is giving everyone an opportunity to become his lover. Srila Prabhupada writes that Lord Krishna wants the whole creation to participate with him in rasa dance. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we understand that even the Gopa who is going to the Goloka, he just goes through so many Vaikuntha planets where the Lord is there in different moods, and he wants to go past each of those moods because he wants it to be more and more intimate. It's very difficult to understand. Sometimes I give the example that suppose there is a prime minister of a country or president, and he comes home, his wife is not interested in meeting him as the president or prime minister, right? She is interested in seeing him as her husband. And to think, oh, prime minister has come, that will be not proper. Neither it will be conducive to a good relation, nor will the wife be satisfied, and even the husband will not be satisfied. So we should understand in this way that Krishna is not so satisfied when people who are actually related to him as lovers are approaching him either to exploit as material energy, or is impersonal Brahman trying to be liberated, or to even approach him in Vaikuntha in Aishwarya Bhav. You see? It's not satisfying for both parties. But for Krishna it's not satisfying, but we don't care. We're not interested so much in going to Krishna. Therefore Krishna says that I am more satisfied with the chastisement of the gopis than the perfect chanting of the Vedic hymns by the great sages. Exactly like the same president in the office, he is more satisfied with the wife in the house, even if she is picking up a fight with him, rather than in the office where people are coming and saying, good morning, sir, and saying very nice things to him. Oh, you are very great, you are doing wonderful, the election results are great, and your popularity is very high. And so Krishna is more, so Krishna's original, so this is very difficult to understand, but this is Krishna's original mood with all living entities. So the scriptures are written in order for us to come to at least the platform of understanding this is who Krishna is. You see? We are going to see that Krishna is more interested in the dried flat rice that his friend is going to bring, rather than, all the wonderful things that were there in Dwaraka. Remember, he had 16,108 palaces, each unlimited and each full of opulences. But he was very pleased with that thing that Sudama Vipra brought. So this, we must understand that these Shastras are there for us to understand and accept the actual position of Krishna and our relationship with Him, this is not for reading and understanding and holding forth. You see? Krishna Bahirmukha Jeev, Krishna Karilo Veda Puran. So the Jiva has become Bahirmukha to Krishna. He doesn't actually want Krishna. Sometimes in the material. By the way, how many people are here for the first time? Put your hand up. For any ISKCON lecture. First time. Only one person. Anybody else? First time. Naam kya hai? Naik. Sanai, whatever. What do you do? B.Tech first year. Very good. What is he doing? Yeah, but what is he doing? Huh? Oh. Welcome to both of you. So, we are having this Bhagavatam class. So, I'm going to make some general comments which you can also follow. Generally people think that the Vedas, the Upanishads, especially Hindus were very interested in Upanishads and Vedanta, and they think these are to be studied, and by the process of studying we will understand something. And devotees also think that I will study Bhagavatam, I'll chant Hare Krishna and I'll realize Krishna. This is not the purpose for which the scriptures are written. Krishna Bahirmukha, so they have become Bahirmukha for Krishna. People may come to the temple and they may take, all of us, myself also, I was thinking, I am offering lamb. It's piety. He's a pious person. I am a pious person offering lamb, that's all. I'm not a lover of Krishna. See? Lover of Krishna is not just an ordinary thing like boy loves girl or mother likes child. Love of Krishna is love of not only truth but absolute truth. This is called loving Krishna. Loving Krishna doesn't simply mean, oh Krishna, I love you, oh Krishna, take some sandesh. It's a love of truth. Not only truth, but absolute truth, and that requires some class. Suppose you go to study in a college, you study, learn, the teacher is teaching mathematics or physics. You are not interested in the truth. Very few students are interested in truth, isn't it? They just want to learn something, pass the exam, right? AGM, sir, correct? They are not interested in the truth. What is mathematics? Sometimes they say Vedic mathematics. It's nonsense. Complete nonsense. Maybe at best it is Vedic arithmetic. How to add, subtract. This is not mathematics. People do not know what is mathematics. As I was explaining the other day, this is called truth, truth of mathematics. 7 plus 5 is 12. 9 plus 3 is 12. 15 minus 3 is 12. 17 minus 5 is 12. 11 plus 1 is 12. This is arithmetic. This was known before Greeks. You follow? The Babylonians knew, the Assyrians knew, and the Indians knew, the Egyptians knew. They were able to construct pyramids and all that. But x plus y equal to 12, that the Greeks brought. It's abstraction. That's called mathematics. It's abstract. We have got so many fools writing books, unauthorized. They write on quantum mechanics. It's all unauthorized. Waste of valuable human life. Every fool thinks as soon as he reads Bhagavatam, oh, I know something now. And sit and think and write. This is not how I do my work. I'm the head of the scientific wing of ISKCON here in Bombay, for those of you who don't know. So, very few students or children are interested in truth. When the child is taught, Baba, black sheep, have you any wool, though no child is going to ask, what is this? I mean, I can repeat it, but what is it, a song? Who wrote this song? What is a meter? Do you know any child who has asked like that? No. Simply it repeats. Like that we are also repeating, but to be attracted to truth is very difficult. And those whom we call scientists or poets or philosophers, they are all attracted to truth. You see? But absolute truth is Krishna. So to love Krishna is to love absolute truth. That's not a simple thing. It is what they say as it is an acquired taste. It's not automatic. It's not automatic. Absolute truth. Lover of absolute truth. Just like, can you appreciate Kalidasa's poetry? Can you appreciate Shakespeare's poetry? It requires some class. Similarly, to be able to appreciate Bhagavatam, to actually relate to the Krishna as absolute truth, it requires some class, and we have to acquire that class. So the Bhagavatam, the scripture, is written to give us an initial taste. So I didn't complete that thing. So although I'm head of the scientific wing and I have done 45 years of advanced scientific research, I have published more than 50 papers in journals and all that, I don't write anything other than what I am asked to write by the higher authorities. Now I simply sit there and write, simply speak whatever nonsense I want. No. So today also I am speaking means whatever I hope Prabhupada wants, not showing off my own, whatever. That I can do a lot. I know a lot more than most people. But I don't speak, so kindly hear carefully. So these books are not written for you to read and understand. Did you know that? These books are not there for you to read and understand. Did you know that? No, that's another nonsense. No. These books are written for you to get a beginning taste to love the absolute truth. And then you have to try the process which is different from reading and realizing. That's why I said no. Exactly like the example I gave, that there's a university, the university has a catalog, isn't it? The university has a catalog. I hope all of you are following. The catalog will describe so many things about the university. The university has got a nice campus, it has got a nice buildings, it has got student club, it has got a debating club. If you go Harvard University catalog, it will say so many things. Oh, there is a debating club which is having a debate with Harvard and MIT for 150 years. Everything looks very nice, beautiful. This doesn't mean you are now a part of the university. That catalog is written so that you can get an understanding of what this university is and get an interest to go there. In the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna says, what is that verse? Natat bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartande taddama paramam mama. You put that verse. Then in the purport, Prabhupada writes in the, I think, very first sentence of the purport, that one must be attracted by this description of the spiritual world. Natat bhashayate suryo. I remember reading this long time ago. That is the purpose of that verse, that we must think, wow, there is a world in which there is no need for fire, sun or moon or electricity. है कि नहीं? क्या है पहला sentence Prabhupada writes in the purport? Somewhere he writes that one must be attracted by this information. Anyway, so
Moonshine.
One should be captivated by this information. He should desire to transfer himself to that eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality.
See, that is the purpose of the scripture. You are following, not realizing. You cannot read that and realize, oh, I will realize how Krishna's world is without sun and moon electricity. No, you don't even know how this sun works. They have got some nonsense idea about nuclear fusion going on and all that. That's okay, you know. You won't know why is it nonsense. But so the whole purpose of all the scriptures is to make you decide, I want to go to this place, I want to associate with this person. But how to do that? That's a separate process. That's why it's not, that's a different process than reading and speculating. Yasya deve para bhakti yata deve tata gurau tasyaiva hi kahita artha prakashantastu mahatmanaha. Yasya deve para bhakti. Para bhakti means love of absolute truth. Everybody loves Krishna. Somebody loves coffee, that is also a love of Krishna, but perverted. Yasya deve para bhakti, for whom there is actual love for Krishna, yata deve tata gurau. And just as for Krishna, the same way for the bona fide spiritual master who is a Mahabhagavat. Tasyaiva hi kahita artha prakashantastu mahatmanaha. Only for him the purports of the Vedas are revealed. Therefore, the process is that process, yata deve tata gurau. Same way. The way you love Krishna, you have to love His divine grace. There is no use in arguing about these things. There was some devotee came to see me, a new bhakta, and he was saying, I asked him that, do you know that you have to develop a relationship with Prabhupada? He was not very sure. I said there is a difference between Prabhupada the person and Prabhupada the book. Like you have the book and you have the person. You have to develop a relationship with the person, Prabhupada. Oh, we do 7:15 Guru Puja, that's all. Nobody has told me how to develop a relationship. Yes. If you develop that relationship, then you can understand the book, not otherwise. Simply by your own, when you read, you have, that is also Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita, he who reads this conversation by his intelligence, he is also worshipping me. That is also bhakti, but it's the beginning stage. And you are studying, reading the Shastras by your own effort. You are your own guru. I don't know whether you are all interested. Just today I have put, I'm a part of 2 committees. In the morning I put one GBC Bureau committee, another committee. I put there that this idea that Prabhupada is the Siksha Guru of everyone, this is not correct. Just because you read Prabhupada's books, he is not your Siksha Guru. I've said this before, but I'm going to say this. You cannot read Einstein's book and say, I studied under Einstein. Can you say? No, they'll say you're cheating. So the book Bhagavat is the first stage in approaching the person Bhagavat. It's all there, quotes of Prabhupada are there. And that you are reading by your own effort. But now you must also read according to his instructions. Person Bhagavat. I don't know how much. Anyway, let's forget this. Let's go on. So, the point of Sudama Vipra is that he was a lover of the absolute truth. So, even though his wife said that you should go and see because we are suffering, she's a great lady. So, isn't there? I heard that Krishna was your classmate in school. Yeah, he was. Then why don't you go and ask him? He's the husband of the goddess of fortune. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Of course, Radha Madhava is the deities of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But also Madhava means husband of the goddess of fortune. So Jai Radha Madhava already indicates Parakiya Bhav. Because Radha and Madhava. Madhava is husband of the goddess of fortune. How are you putting Radha and Madhava? Question can be asked. So it's a simple thing. They have put such a high truth. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Prabhupada sings. He knows. I don't know. I can also sit and sing Jai Radha Madhava. Okay. Like a frog. They know. Every meaning of every word they know. So high class. See? It's not a simple song. So this song is meant for us to cultivate the highest of the relationship, Parakiya Bhav. Wow. That's very important that we have to sing this song properly. Anyway, I don't know how much to say. So please try to understand, Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. The only way you can actually understand the scriptures, Yasya deve parabhakti yata deve tata guru. So important. So Prabhupada, today I wrote that Prabhupada has 3 roles in ISKCON. How many roles? One is founder Acharya. That was recognized. We know, we distribute his books, everybody can read, everybody approaches him as founder Acharya. The second thing was not recognized for a long time, up until 87. That Prabhupada can be everybody's Siksha Guru, can be. That was not recognized until 87. You may not know. But they have made it a rule, but that's not possible. There is a process by which he can become your Siksha Guru. So you approach him as founder Acharya, then you have to get him as Siksha Guru. Then there is a third level which is not even known in ISKCON. Today only I wrote. So the first stage of then loving the absolute truth, the third quote you can put, the one I gave you today, you put it first on the screen. The first stage that is also described in this chapter also. It is there. Sukadeva Goswami said, Lord Krishna had a certain Brahmana friend named Sudama who was most learned in Vedic knowledge and detached from all sense enjoyment. Furthermore, his mind was peaceful and his senses subdued. That is the first stage we have to become. You have that? So read slowly and clearly.
But by chanting of this Hare
No,
Krishna.
no. You, I said that quote that I put you on the WhatsApp today morning. What a fool. I said third quote, I told you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Meet
Rama.
those needs.
What?
That's the quote you gave me.
What is that?
Say, then we will be happy.
What is this verse? What is the quote?
This is from Dharma.
What is the first?
First it starts with meet those needs. Meet those needs.
I can't even understand how others will understand.
That's what the quote says. Quote begins with the meet those needs.
I wasted my time asking you to. Here is and you should have told me that I sent you a quote that is incomplete. Srila Prabhupada said, who said? Srila Prabhupada. Actually, there is no scarcity of food. Krishna is so kind that he is providing food for everyone. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. He is feeding millions and trillions of living entities. Throughout the world there are billions of birds. Who is feeding them? Krishna is feeding them. So the real problems in the world are not overpopulation or a scarcity of food. The problem is a scarcity of God consciousness. That is why people are suffering. That is not to say that the needs of the body should be neglected. They must be met. But we should not be busy simply for satisfying the needs of the body. We are spirit souls, and the spirit soul has its own needs. We must meet those needs. Then we will be happy. Then Prabhupada goes on to say, see, Prabhupada is saying that the body has its needs. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending. He said, Prabhupada, bodily necessities of life. Ahara, bhaya, nidra, maitunam. Eating, mating, sleeping and defending. And he says, mating is also a bodily necessity. And the government should provide for it. Prabhupada says, just like you are providing for house and food and other things. And he said the great flaw of modern civilization is that even a well-educated, qualified man, he has got no guarantee. Prabhupada said that he goes in the morning to work, when he comes back in the evening, the wife will be in home. She may have left. Prabhupada is writing. So these have to be properly arranged, and the proper arrangement for meeting the need of the body of mating is marriage. One man, one woman. Marriage is a must. Society for most people. So Prabhupada says bodily needs cannot be neglected. Just like I say, a long time ago I used to give this example, that the plane is going on the concrete runway like a car. But the job of the car is only to stay on the road. But the job of the plane is to fly. So, ahara bhaya nidra maitunam etavan nirnam pashibir samanam. The human beings are same as animals as far as eating, mating, sleeping, defending goes. There is no difference. Just like the car and the plane, when they go, but they're both the same. But the plane should fly. The animals are fulfilling the needs of the body just for that purpose. That's all they do. But a human being, he must eat, sleep and live so that he can take off on the spiritual sky. So when you are actually driving a plane, you have to take care of plane has to have fuel. But you also have your own goal. So you must take care of the body, Prabhupada says, but you must have your own goal. But then he goes on, that is coming to this point. These needs can be met when we follow the instructions of the verse and attain jnana and vairagya, knowledge and detachment. Unless you actually develop knowledge and detachment, you cannot meet the needs of even the body, what to speak of need of the soul. Detachment cannot be achieved with knowledge, without knowledge. And real knowledge means to understand, I am not this body. What will happen when you understand you are not the body? It's not just giving some examples. No, body is changing, you are not changing. Medical science says that. No, those are to convince people who don't even know about soul. We didn't even know about soul. I did my BTech, I did my MTech, I went to USA and I was studying. I never once thought of soul. That means less than a Sudra. I was. Never thought of a soul. So when I first came back from America as a devotee, I went to Srirangam temple, and then somebody who was with me, he told the butler there when we were entering, he's a Gomatam, he said. And Gomatam is one of the 72 families with Ramanujacharya in the beginning. And Gomatam is also the family in which Manawala Mamuni appeared, and Manawala Mamuni is a reincarnation of Ramanujacharya, and Ramanujacharya is an expansion of Anantasesh. So all these things are there when he says this Gomatam is coming. Then he told me, oh, you are a Gomatam. Then he said, what is it that you have found in that sampradaya that you didn't find in ours? This is the first question I got when I came to India from USA. I'm entering I told him, I may be born in Sri Vaishnava family, but I was in the gutter. And Prabhupada saved me. I said, he picked me up from the gutter. Nobody else. See? That is called gratitude. You have come to Krishna consciousness because of reading his books with your stupid intelligence. With what? I couldn't hear. First word, you have to be louder. Stupid. But you are so proud that you think you have understood everything. Rascals. Prabhupada said fools and rascals. Everybody is a fool. He reads just Vedanta, talks nonsense. All is going on throughout the world. You are also talking nonsense. What is the difference? All is nobody thinks that he doesn't know anything. I know everything. You don't know anything, but you think you are the guru of the whole universe. Oh, we are presenting absolute truth. You don't even have common sense that you are distributing Prabhupada's books. Why? In page after page, it says that you have a left approach of bona fide spiritual master. So what? They will read the book and come to you? What kind of a rascal is this? This is not everybody in ISKCON. They just think they know everything. Anyway, that was the point I told him. Ennandri kondrarkum uivundam, uivillai seinandri kondrarkum. These are all Niti Shastra. You have to know. So Prabhupada says, Real knowledge means to understand I am not this body. And what does it mean? As soon as we understand that we are not the body, we can also understand sense gratification is not required. I am not in that stage. I'm not in that stage. I told you, one of Prabhupada's secretaries, he was also a GBC, he was a good friend of mine, he is no longer alive. He told me that when first Prabhupada came to Montreal, you see, there was only a small room in which Prabhupada was staying. And he said that I was assisting Prabhupada, I was just a new devotee, and I was sleeping on the floor and Prabhupada was there. In the middle of the night I was sleeping, suddenly I saw Prabhupada got up from the bed and there was a small bathroom to the small room, he went there. And he went past me. So I sat up and I didn't know what to do, so he was in the bathroom, I was chanting. So Prabhupada came out and he saw him and he said, "Oh, so you are also not sleeping? You are also not sleeping." That means Prabhupada was not sleeping, although it appeared like he was sleeping. And he said, "Yes, Prabhupada, I am chanting." "That's very good," he said. And then he said, Prabhupada said, this is 1967. Prabhupada said, actually we don't need to eat or sleep. It's not required. But if I say that, nobody will come. So we have to distribute prasadam and this and that and everything. Of course, prasadam is wholly transcendental, that's a different matter. But it's also said, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Balana Kabo. So it is said that the Raj Bhoga is for deity and new bhaktas. Others, we have to, So, but I'm not like that. So anyway, I have not realized this point about I'm not this body. But some little bit by His mercy, maybe I know. And therefore, we have to, what is this nonsense? So let me just get this thing. Prabhupada show quoted text. So Prabhupada is saying, as soon as you understand that you won't have any bodily requirements, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm having all bodily requirements. So when I preach that I'm not this body, I'm exactly like a person who is inside a house on fire. So the fire engine came outside, ting, 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 get up. All these examples I have given 40 years ago. Still I am giving because now I have to go further. So somebody wakes up in the building and he says, "Oh, there is fire, fire engine has come." And he's telling others, "Get up, get up, get up, there is fire." You are also inside the fire. But you are waking others up. You are not like the fire engine which is outside and trying to save you. Samsara dava analida loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam. That's the fire engine. Samsara dava analida, the great forest fire. Lord Chaitanya has brought the fire engine department. Head is Srila Prabhupada. So to understand I am not this body is very, very difficult and very important. And to understand I am not this body, you should know what is the body. You don't even know what is the body. You think this is the body, right? This is not the body. And you don't know that. If you don't even know that, how will you know I am not the body? So how am I to now I'll just take a few more minutes. It's very important. How am I to understand this is not the body? Everybody says this is the body. How are you suddenly saying this is not the body? You see? For this you have to understand matter. There is a fax machine. Do you know what is a fax machine? You don't know? Fax, nowadays it's not there maybe. Huh? It's not there, fax machine. You will know, AGM, fax machine. So how do people fax now? Printer scanner, you have seen? Printer scanner. So how does the printer scanner work? You can use it. And if you are an electronics engineer, you can say, oh, there is a scanning bed, there is a light, and this light is going, and it's light sensitive, and it's just, picking up the, patterns, and then it's converting it into, that's how it works. What is the theory behind it? The scientific theory behind how the scanner works, if you don't know, if you cannot understand Bhagavatam. If that theory you don't have to know from the scanner, but if you knew that theory, then only you can understand I am not the body. Mr. Great scientist, you know? No, you don't know, but you think you know everything. I've seen you come and go for years. Practically everybody, they think they know everything. So I'm going to explain a little bit what it is. Then I'll connect it to this body. It's not a simple, I'm myself meditating for 45 years. I also don't know. What is the difference? I'm realizing I don't know. And Prabhupada said that's very good. They told Prabhupada once, Prabhupada, there was a Greek thinker called Socrates. Prabhupada said, what did he say? And they said that Prabhupada, he said, in this world, everybody is a fool. Then they said, Socrates, what about you? He said, I'm also a fool. Then they said, why should we listen from you? He said, oh, the difference is, all of them, they don't know they are fools, but I know I'm a fool. And Prabhupada stopped, turned and said, this person can be initiated. Whoa. That's what initiation means. Not that you're so puffed up like a frog in the well, that I have read everything, Bhagavatam I have read, teachings of Lord Chaitanya I have read, teachings of Lord Kapila I have read, science of self-realization I have read, beyond birth and death I have read, I have read all of these things, now you give me initiation. No, you're fool number one. So Prabhupada once said, if at all I made a mistake, it is that I gave initiation to too many unqualified people. That initiation is not the first and second initiation. So anyway, let me not get into that focus. Focus on. So why is it that you have to understand how a scanner works in order to understand I am not the body? Isn't that surprising, Mr. AGM? I'm going to call you Mr. AGM. You see? There is something that everybody knows in common sense. Suppose somebody came and gave me a piece of paper. I just read it. And then somebody can ask me, what is it? What is written there? Right? And I say, oh, they're saying that you and me can go for lunch to their house tomorrow. So I say that. So that information that was on the paper, now I have separated from the paper and given to you. Correct? In other words, there is a difference between the thing that carries information and information itself. Following? This is known in common sense, but we don't think about it. But the guy who developed the scientific theory by which your printer scanner works, that fellow realized that if I can separate the information from the paper, and now I am speaking, that then this information is going into the voice. Instead of paper, voice is carrying. The paper also, it cannot go very far. The voice also cannot go very far. But if I separate that information and if I send it through electrical signals, I can send it very far. That's why your telephone works. You say hello here and somebody in New York says hello. How did it go? The theory behind that is based on this idea that information is different from the medium that is carrying the information, and it can be changed from paper or voice to something more powerful like electromagnetic wave. Are you following? Are you following or not following? Now what is this connection to I am not the body? We have to come to that. That guy's name is called Shannon, Claude Shannon. You can Google and see it later and all that. His work is influencing, as I told before once here, everybody's life. IT, information technology, all digital, all quantum computing, all everything, your internet, your CD disc, your phone, your laptop, everything is based on Shannon's information. The ISRO is sending a satellite and they are having communication. How are they communicating? Through Shannon's work. More important than Newton and Einstein. All your everyday life is influenced by him. Now, just like a post office, so Shannon wrote in his paper that I am not interested in the content of the information. Somebody may be singing, somebody may be speaking, I am not interested in that. I am only interested in the engineering problem of how to transport that information, which I can separate from that signal to the engineering. How can I do it efficiently? See, he wrote like that. How intelligent he was. He was an atheist also. Anyway, so, just like post office is not interested in knowing what you are writing, but it is interested in moving those letters and packages. Like that, so, but in order to design a system, the post office has to have some information. How many people are sending where, what is the frequency of various places where it goes, what type of average weight of size of the packet. They should know all that to design a postal system. That is also information like information in the letter, but it's information about information. It's what's called second order in scientific terms. So Shannon actually developed some information about the medium. And that's called Shannon. That's why it's called IT, information technology. That information has nothing to do with you and I, the information we say. That's a scientific topic. I won't get into that. But he developed one method, one scientific method. Okay. So now what is the point of that thing? Very important point. Why did Krishna, because everything is coming from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartite. Everything is coming from Krishna. So why is Krishna giving Shannon the idea to make a information technology which is spoiling the whole planet? Because people were actually working in the land, they were making food. That was good, people could eat. And afterwards they came up with cement and concrete and machines, car. That was still okay because roti kapda makan. Not only roti is required, kapda is also required, and makan is required, it's the staying place. So maybe with cement I can build a house, so that's also productive. You can say like that. But now you have come to information, and people are working all their life to write software code and this and that. And that information nobody can eat, nothing, it's gone. So this entire information-oriented, Modi is saying we'll create a smart city. He doesn't even know what is a smart city. You see? He has to think, how is it that I am trying to use the Western science and technology to develop India, and how do I expect India to not have the same problems that the West has? No, what to do now? We have to give people, anyway, that's another topic. So what happened is that Shannon, so this information, why did Krishna reveal through Shannon? So you have to know that Krishna has his own plans, which these people don't know. So they think, I have found out atomic bomb, I have found the information theory, I have found computers, they're thinking. But Krishna is developing these things for something else. What is that? He has actually, this Shannon's information is the first stage of letting the whole world realize I'm not the body. Imagine Krishna's intelligence. Nobody knows. You cannot do research and find all these things, impossible. But it's all there in Prabhupada's books. What is that other verse? Not knowledge begins. There was one more quote I gave, right? Huh? So we'll come to this. Very important. Prabhupada has said all this. I'm going to show you a quote. You don't know. But you think you know everything. Oh, scientists are fools. ISKCON means that's all. All of you. I'm preaching, I'm great, I'm so wonderful. After 35 years, the moment I realized I know nothing, and I was also considered a good preacher, I realized I'm a complete fool and an idiot. And I thought I knew something. So don't be in the trap. There is no way you are just in the darkest of ignorance and you are thinking you know something. Okay. Now the beautiful point, why did I set up this Institute of Semantic Information Science and Technology? I didn't want to set up this institute for a long time. I said, Prabhupada set up Bhaktivedanta Institute. Why should I suddenly come and say? But after a long time I said, this semantic information is going to be the thing for the... And there are people, anyway, focus. Rasaraj, focus. So then what happened is, I was thinking, then finally, reluctantly, I registered it. I myself went in San Francisco and registered Institute of Semantic Information, non-profit 501. Because I didn't want to do that. It's Prabhupada set something up and I'm doing that. I went and I slept in the PI in Berkeley. Unbeknownst to me, the place where my bed is the same place where Prabhupada slept. I didn't know that for a long time. Anyway, I was sleeping. Next day morning, I won't tell the full thing. At 3:30, suddenly Prabhupada came and he was there. He said, why did you wait so long to make this institute? I said, what? How is he keeping track of this? I said, this is all your ideas. So I don't want to start an institute and get credit that I found this. Its credit must go to you, it's your ideas. Prabhupada didn't say anything. After that, after about 6 months, once I was walking down San Francisco, then suddenly I realized, that he's kept silent means that he's a pure devotee. Because he didn't want to say, yes, it's my ideas. He's a pure devotee, he doesn't want to say that. Nor can he say, it's not my idea, that will be not truth. He kept quiet. I also kept quiet. He also kept quiet. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And I said, let me not make Prabhupada wait. So then I said, also I want ISKCON to get the benefit. If it's Bhaktivedanta Institute, ISKCON will get the benefit. Not. And then Prabhupada said something that blew my mind. I would have never thought of it. I'm not going to tell that. I said, wow. And he just disappeared. Why I'm saying this is, this idea of semantic information. Very important point I'm going to make, summary. Don't speculate about it. Don't go and write a book. Okay? Every fool, he hears and then he'll go. There was one guy who's a director somewhere or something. I went interview. Semantic, he said. Semantic, what semantic? You learned this from me, this word. Semantic. You don't even know anything. Blabbering. Doesn't matter. Very important point, and I'm going to show a quote of Prabhupada, then you'll understand. Hopefully. So remember that Shannon separated information from the medium. You follow that? The information carrying medium and information Shannon separated scientifically. I'm not getting into all the scientific details of it. Probabilities and Shannon information, entropy. Let's not forget all of that. Separated. It turns out, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, this is why Bhagavatam is the Vedas for this age. And what do we mean by Bhagavatam? We don't mean the 18,000 slokas. No. Bhagavatam is what Prabhupada has written. All his purports. All this life, everything from the Chatusloki Bhagavatam came for that. That's another topic. Let's focus back. So the Bhagavatam is Nigamakalpataror because Prabhupada has said all of this for modern age. It turns out, according to Bhagavatam, so there are two things. The physical medium and how does the Shannon information work in a scanner? You just, that if you put something and you scan it and you will see a light move, it will move. What is it doing? It's actually scanning. What does scanning mean? So you got a page in which there is text. Text is black and white, never mind color. So black and white text simply means, very important point, simply means where is some ink and where is no ink. If you can get that information, you can transmit that information. The other side, wherever there is ink, the information says you put a dot. You keep on putting the dots, you will get the same document. So you are sending information about the physical layout. Are you following how it works? It's very important to understand Bhagavatam. That's what Krishna says, Bhumi Rapanla Vaikamano Buddhirivacha Ankara Mitiyame Binna Prakriti Ashtata. In one verse, all of this is there. So, Prabhupada, that's how he taught Jadurani how to draw. She said, I don't know drawing. He said, you draw now for my book. I don't know how to draw. He said, no problem. You get some painting, and on that painting, you put a tracing paper. And the tracing paper, you draw many, many lines. The more lines you draw, the better it is. Grid. Lines like this, lines like this. Right? And you, wherever there is some ink there, you draw. At the end, you remove the tracing paper, you will have the same painting. That's how she learned painting. So that the technology is there in scanner also, but you don't know. So the scanner is actually sending information. 1 means there is a black dot, 0 means no black dot, 1, 0. The Boolean logic was there, and he will transmit it. So you don't have to send the document. You simply say where is 1, where is 0. It's all dots. And there it will just, and then there will say tok, 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 tok. It will print dots and the same text will come. And it doesn't know what it's sending. So Shannon separated the meaningful information from the medium, and he was sending the same meaningful information as a physical data. Where is ink, where is not ink. That's all it is. I'm putting it in very simple terms. This is not for you to go and read now, Google, research Shannon, Bhagavatam. Don't do that. This is not for that. This is for simply realizing what a fool I am. That's all you have to, at the end of the class you should think, what a fool I am. That's all. And you think only that 24/7. There's no other way. Om Jnanatamrandasya. Now the question comes, how can I send the information itself? Can I send information itself? It turns out, according to Bhagavatam, that the matter that is carrying the physical information, where is ink and where is not ink, is different from the matter that is carrying the meaningful information. That's the whole idea of my research. How this connects to quantum mechanics is another point. Are you following? All of you are following? That is the matter that's physical, where we think is a body extended in space and time. There is body here, there is no body here, that's the same thing. That's not the matter that carries the life, the living body. That is why this matter is called dead matter. So that matter that can carry life, that can carry semantic information, you see, that's a different thing. Then it turns out, no, let him just leave him alone. It's okay, let him go. So, try to understand this, but the matter that carries the physical information is not the matter. So imagine a situation where people are putting in an envelope a letter. So if you mean by letter the information, that is not carried by the envelope. Even though the envelope is carrying that letter, it's not the letter. The letter is that piece of paper. In that piece of paper, it's very difficult between the envelope and the information you can make an easy discussion. Oh, that's the envelope, that's not the letter. But when you give the letter itself, written letter, it's very difficult to make a distinction between the letter as information and letter, that physical paper. So what you call as body is like an envelope. That is another science. Just take it for granted. It has nothing to do with the body that carries life, the living body state. And if you understand that body, you will understand it's very difficult to make a difference between the body and soul. It's very difficult. Just like in the actual inside letter, it's difficult to make a distinction between the letter and the information letter. Physical letter and information letter. Are you following? Following or not? This and all you can't read and realize. That's not possible. That's why I said you can only speculate. It is not even there. So if you really understand what is the body, then you will know that it's very difficult to make a distinction between body and soul. That what we are preaching is just for general public. And for you also, who is general public. But you think I am somebody great. Read. Revatinandan Swami. There is a conversation between Prabhupada and Revatinandan Swami. You need to know all of what I said in order to understand this. Read. Give it to him. He can read. He reads clearly. Slowly you read clearly.
Revatinandana, there is some distinction between the nature of the soul and the nature of the body.
There is? Not clear.
There is some distinction between the nature of the soul and the nature of the body.
This is what Revatinandan Swami is saying in 1970. This is our basic philosophy, isn't it? This is what we think is our philosophy. There is some basic distinction between body and soul. Prabhupada?
Prabhupada, that distinction is inconceivable.
Do you see? Prabhupada said, that's all right.
You cannot make clear distinction. Therefore, it is called achintya.
You cannot make a clear distinction between body and soul. So all these arguments, every cell is changing in the body, 7 years. That's not what Prabhupada is saying. Prabhupada can say that, you can imitate. This you cannot imitate. What did he say? That's all right.
Therefore, it is called achintya.
Next. But then Revatinandan Swami is shocked. What does he say? Why are you operating it if you don't know how to operate?
Revatinandana, the distinction between the soul and the body.
So he is surprised. He is saying that distinction between soul and body is difficult to make.
Prabhupada, you cannot make a clear distinction.
You cannot make a clear distinction.
Therefore, it is called achintya bheda bheda tattva. Inconceivable, one and different simultaneously.
This is a great science. That's what we are developing. I'm developing in the second floor. It's going to come. Next.
Revati Nandana. Sometimes people ask Prabhupada, these questions are not to be discussed in public. These are very higher understanding. For public should be, this is matter, this is spirit. That is all.
It's for public. You are public or great yogis? So what you are going to realize by reading? Are you following? You cannot. It has to be explained to you, revealed knowledge, Shruti. Look at, you can speak that I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. But you cannot say this is no difference. Only Prabhupada can say it. Are you following? So don't imitate and say, oh, Prabhupada only said we should repeat what he said. You cannot repeat this because you may read this and you won't even understand. Thousands of fools have read this and they have not understood. I also read and I didn't understand. So be very, very careful. Are you following? You can't repeat what Prabhupada said. That's a nonsense. It's like Bhimsen Joshi singing. You say, I don't know how to sing, but I can only repeat whatever he sings. Oh, you are so great that you can repeat what Bhimsen Joshi is singing. That means you are another Bhimsen Joshi. So please try to get out of this rotten ignorance you are in, where you think that I can read these books and I can chant, I can dance and I'll go back to Godhead. No. This is called Purascharya, Prabhupada has explained. And you should go to the next stage, where you should get Prabhupada as your Siksha Guru, not by reading. The new Bhakta told me, oh, to associate with Prabhupada, they said, you have to read his books. Oh, this nonsense, who told you? You read Prabhupada's books, you are associating with your own mind, your own intelligence. But because of your Sukriti, that mind and intelligence is helping you to understand, and he is also so great that he has written something that a fool like me can also understand and give up everything and join. But in order to really understand things, the person Bhagavat, you have to make a connection. So your job, right now you are in Purascharya, you have to make the connection to get him as your Siksha Guru. That's not so easy. You following? For that you need the association of sadhus, not gurus. Ado Shraddha. When by reading Prabhupada's books you get Shraddha. Tata Sadhu Sangha. From there you get Sadhu Sangha. Who is a sadhu? Krishna has defined. Api chet sudracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag. He can be a sadhu, can be a durachar. But he should be ananya bhag. That is not a sanction that I am a durachar, but still you are not a guru. A sadhu never claims he is a guru. But he is ananya bhag, means he is doing the service only for the pleasure of the acharya, not for himself. That's another science. You don't know all these science. So my simple, humble request to all of you, I'm very sorry, is that this Bhagavatam is an ocean. So Sudama Vipra, by study of Vedic knowledge, actually had realized, I'm not this body, which he understood what is body, and then he made the distinction between body and spirit, which is very difficult to make. And he was completely self-satisfied. Still, he had a family, and therefore he had to go to meet Krishna. But he said, I'm going to meet Krishna for my own purification, and he's going, and it's a very great story, it happened. But simply saying that story and giving big stories, Sudama went like this, in such and such a book it is written, Sudama was actually, in the previous life he was like that, in the next life he was going to be like that. This nonsense will not help you. How does the scanning machine scan? That you understand, you can understand Sudama Vipra, not otherwise. And that is not knowledge you can stand upside down also, you won't get it. So sadhus are those who have actually connected to the acharya, and we are supposed to be sadhus. no matter what we are, whether I'm pure or not pure, so I'll take that position. Simple and humble. Not that I sit and write books. You don't know anything, but you're writing book. Oh. You follow what I'm saying? Or you don't follow? Don't waste your life. Poison. These are all poison elements in the society when you do that. Any questions or comments? How can anybody know that to understand Sudama Vipra, you must understand how the scanner works? Try to understand. And I'm still not putting up a big show.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Professor Karpajan.
In the beginning you said Lord has provided everything for everyone.
Yeah, Prabhupada said that, yeah.
So, and everyone is using whatever Lord has given them.
Yeah.
So, in the material world we see there are
What
so
is the
many.
question? What is the question?
In the material world we see many people, they do whatever they want, they are doing. The Lord is allowing them to do.
I answered that already.
Yeah.
in the class.
But devotees, yeah,
No, we are not devotees.
no.
Don't say devotees. No, we are trying to become devotees.
Oh, trying to become devotee.
Yes, we are not devotees here.
Okay,
That's a
we are-
long way.
We are trying to become devotee, but we are we are not following what Lord is giving us everything. We say, just like sleeping, we want
You
to
don't
sleep.
say we, you say I.
Yeah.
You talk about yourself.
So sleeping, I am sleeping, I am eating, I am doing everything. But I say, I don't want to do the meeting. So is that we are neglecting?
What is your question? Give a question, meaningful question. I've given a class and you're spoiling it.
Yeah, the neglecting of the mating of the body.
Don't talk rubbish. So anybody has got any questions? I can't take this kind of nonsense. What is this kind of question? No, yes. That person in saffron behind you. He never asked question, let me see what he is. It is not that in the lecturer gives a lecture, every student can put his hand up and ask question. You got to have some masala to ask question also. Not you, him. Yes, give it to him. What is it? You're not so great that you're so shocked.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your lecture.
Yes.
Sometimes in some pastimes, Prabhupada writes that simply by reading this pastimes and reading all the activities Krishna performed, you will go back to Godhead. How to understand that thing?
You have to show me the actual quote. You may have read and understood in whatever way you want. Show me the actual quote, then I can explain.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes. For example, once Prabhupada said, not once, many times, that if simply by reading Krishna book you can become a pure devotee. He said you can become a lover of Krishna. Then you should read it properly. You can't just read it in whatever way you want and put yourself up as a big shot. Then how will you get it? You have to be humble. So it's not reading properly, it must be there. That requires, like chanting. By chanting you can go back to Godhead. But there are 10 offenses we have to avoid. So there are always conditions, it's not unconditional. Is that okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Conditional. It's all conditional. That Mataji who has got her hand up. Wait. Let new persons ask questions. You are always there. Yes? That Mataji, yes? What is your question? Give the microphone to Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the class. And I don't have to say anything. The only thing is like what I have understood by reading Prabhupada books is simply chant. What you're saying, I have respect, I have regard for that. But then Srila Prabhupada, and I've read all, whatever research, whatever I've been doing for such a long time. It's only the conclusion is like to chant the holy name of the Lord. And if you try to understand the thing, it's like, there is a whole vast of ocean, as you rightly said. But then it's not for everyone to understand, like, to go deeply.
It's all simply nonsense. Don't talk nonsense. Sorry.
It's simply you have to chant the holy name of the Lord.
No, don't talk nonsense. Please, don't talk nonsense. Because Prabhupada has written 70 books. They have to be understood. He also said, but if you don't want to read the books, then simply chant Hare Krishna.
He said in Bhagavad-gita very clearly,
you don't argue with me now. Put the microphone down.
It's not about the argument. It's about putting your point to the right authority. It's like Prabhupada said in Bhagavad-gita, simply read Bhagavad-gita, that's it. Thank you so much.
Nonsense. Complete nonsense.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I want to know about the Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva exactly.
These are all complete nonsense. You are giving your own interpretation and you are putting Prabhupada's name in it. Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said that. Prabhupada never said such things. Here is Prabhupada saying. So put a quote and explain it. And if you don't know, then don't speak. If you speak, speak authoritatively. Not that, no. But you say in the class, here you say, no, Prabhupada only said you don't have to know anything. It is all not for everybody. It's an ocean. So you simply chant. Okay. But when you go and sit and give a class, you pretend that you are some great guy. You don't say, excuse me, actually Bhagavatam is an ocean. I don't know anything. I cannot understand anything. I'm only chanting and I can only tell you, you also please chant. You don't say that. Oh, you give big lectures. Oh, scientists are fools. These are rascals. Karmis are donkeys. This, that, everybody. So if you say that, then you practice it and shut your mouth and you cannot preach. But if you're going to preach, Prabhupada said, all the opposing parties you have to be able to overcome. The world is going in a very bad way. And His divine grace has set up this. In the Bhagavatam He has written. This verse is the basis of great scientific research work. So, what is all this? Now, as far as the question about Achintya Bheda goes, please put your hand down. I gave you enough chance.
हाँ प्रभु जी बताइए अचिंत्य भेदा भेद तत्व.
Achintya Bheda is a very subtle topic. Very subtle topic. It is not dualism, because monistic Vedanta says there's only Brahman, there's nothing else. Dualism says no, there is Brahman and Parabrahman and Jiva Brahman, there is a difference. There is spirit, there is matter, there is a difference. They are not one and the same. That is dualism. Achintya Bheda, very succinctly, see, when you say Krishna is supreme and matter is different from Krishna, our soul is different from Krishna, then how will you understand this? But in Achintya Bheda, whatever properties Krishna has, soul has, qualitatively, and whatever properties Krishna has, matter also has. So matter also has Achintya Bheda. That's the point of Prabhupada. This wood is made into a table. The table is simultaneously one and different from the wood. And this is there in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada has written in the purport. So Achintya Bheda is the only philosophy that you can apply to Krishna, you can apply to soul, you can apply to matter also. So if scientists are saying that we are only studying matter, we can bring in Achintya Bheda Bheda in matter also. That's the importance of this work. Are you following? Prabhupada said, we have got a scientific institute upstairs. You can come and see it.
Thank you very much.
Time
Prabhuji.
ho gaya bahut. 10 baje approaching. I'm sorry I took so much time, but it's very important. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.